Once again, good morning everybody, and thank you for coming at this time in the morning. I know for some people it's very difficult to get up this time of the morning. We've got quite a nice number of people who have registered, about 140 plus, but I can see that not 140 people are here yet. But anyway, thank you very much for coming, and welcome to this CITES Conference 2011. And without further ado, I would like to invite our Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Professor Amy Tsui, to come and give the opening and welcoming address.
Good morning. Welcome to Hong Kong U on a gloomy day. I hope this is not going to dampen your spirit for the conference. Bob and Professor Laurelard and members of the organizing committee, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you here. I'm sure you will enjoy this symposium. I wish I could stay for the rest of the symposium, but unfortunately on every Thursday morning we have a senior management team meeting, and it doesn't seem to stop over the summer, which is a great pity. I've been looking forward to this, but anyway, so if you will forgive me if I leave in the middle of the discussion. This is a very exciting time for the education sector in Hong Kong, and I know that there are people from the school sector today, as well as from the tertiary sector in Hong Kong. We have the new three-year senior secondary curriculum, which was launched in 2009. And next year we will have the first cohort of the graduates of this curriculum. And in universities, we have the new four-year curriculum. And next year it's going to be a nightmare, which I'm sure you all agree with me. We have a double cohort wandering around campus. I mean, I'm saying a nightmare tongue-in-cheek, but it is a very exciting time. At Hong Kong University, we started crafting the new four-year curriculum in 2005, actually. And in 2008, we redesigned the new three-year curriculum to align with the four-year curriculum. This is for the benefit of those of you who are not members of Hong Kong U. So that the members of Hong Kong, you've heard it so many times, and I think they're getting a little bit sick of me because I keep repeating the same message. We redesigned the new three-year curriculum to align with the four-year curriculum so that next year, when we have a double cohort, they will not be experiencing two very different curricula. So this academic year, we already launched the new three-year curriculum so that this is 2 years in advance, so that when we get to 2012, we have a soft landing. We're also building the new campus, the Centennial Campus. If you have a bit of time, I would invite you to just wander over. I don't think they will let you in, but you can see the building coming up very fast, and it's on schedule, I understand. We're keeping our fingers crossed that there will not be too many typhoons to disrupt the schedule. But the Centennial Campus will be opened in September. The design of the new curriculum and the Centennial Campus are driven by the same goal, and that is to create an environment which offers rich opportunities for learning, which challenges students intellectually, and which is conducive to the building of learning communities. And I want to cite a quotation from John Seeley Brown, who says that learning is a remarkably social process. It occurs not as a response to teaching, but rather as a result of a social network that fosters learning. And this is the guiding conceptual framework that we think about both the curriculum and the Centennial Campus. And I'm very pleased to say that for the first time in designing the physical structure of the Centennial Campus, It's actually driven by learning. So we have set up two committees. One that looks at the design of the learning commons, and some of you are actually on that committee. And the other one is the design of the classrooms, so that we will be able to design the physical space which will facilitate collaborative and interactive learning. A centerpiece of the new curriculum is the Common Core curriculum. And just to explain the rationale of the Common Core curriculum, in Hong Kong U it's modeled on a British system, where students specialize from the first year, specialize in their disciplines. So students do not get a lot of chance to interact with students in other faculties and other disciplines. So the question that we had when we designed the curriculum is how can we actually maximize the very rich opportunities that are available in a university where there is so much expertise on campus. You have professors and students coming from different cultural and ethnic backgrounds. How can we bring them together so that they can actually interact and learn from each other? And so we thought that there must be some common learning experiences that every single student must go through. And one way to achieve that, there are a number of ways, but one way to achieve that in the curriculum is to propose what we call a Common Core curriculum. It is common because it's common to all students, irrespective of the discipline. So medical students, law students, architecture students will experience exactly that component with the art students, science students, and social science students. And it's called core because we are addressing issues which are fundamental to every single human society. So by doing that, we bring students together. We also mandate that there must be tutorials. So the tutorials are groups of 12. So in addition to lectures, students must attend tutorials. That's where you bring students together, and that's conducive, that facilitates the building of learning communities. We started it this year, started implementing it this year, and the response that we got from the students are overwhelming. We did a statistical analysis of the students' comments, and the very high frequency of occurrence of words like exciting, challenging, seeing things from different perspectives. And also, students were saying that they enjoy very much the opportunity to meet with students from other faculties and engaging in an intellectual dialogue with these students. A centerpiece of the design of the Centennial Campus is the Learning Commons, where we do provide a lot of opportunities for students to come together, to get into groups, to work collaboratively, not only among students, but also for teachers to be engaged with students as well. The library is being redesigned as a place which is not just for individual learning, but for collaborative learning. And Peter, our librarian, will be able to tell you all about that. The challenge posed by the curriculum reform to schools and in university is immense, because the reform is not just about shortening 1 year of secondary education. It's not about adding an extra year to university education. It is about how we might best equip our students to rise to the challenge of the rapidly changing world, and what core values we wish to instill in students so that they can become responsible global citizens. It is about how we as teachers can rise to the challenge of engaging students in the learning process in a digital age. And I was reading the work of John Seeley Brown on digital age, and I want to give another quote here, which I thought was so well put. He says, today's digital kids think of information and communication technology as something akin to oxygen. They expect it. It's what they breathe, and it's how they live. It's an integral part of their social life. It's how they acknowledge each other, and form these personal identities. The challenge to teachers is how we can get into the world of our students, how we can speak the same language, how we can communicate with them. It is also a challenge to teachers because a lot of the colleagues in this university, when we talk to them, they call themselves dinosaurs. So when we discussed our e-learning strategy, which we just recently endorsed, there were a lot of discussions about how we can bring dinosaurs on board. In other words, what we're saying here is that the challenge for teachers is that in addition to coping with the changes in the curriculum, it's also the challenge of how we can make use of technology-enhanced learning. And as our keynote speaker, Professor Lorelei, rightly point out, it is a huge burden on teachers in order to be able to cope with that. So how can we then come together as a community? We talk about building communities of learners, of students, but it should also be a community of learners, of teachers as well. So I think that this symposium is very timely, and it's great to see Tsui collaborating with CETL, which works with teachers, and also the Teaching Development Grant investigators looking at building communities of good practices in the university on e-learning. We recently, Senate recently endorsed an e-learning strategy where we specify 3 levels of attainment for teachers. One is the basic level where we do make use of technology in disseminating information to students, but that is the minimum. The second level of attainment is how we use technology to enhance learning. The third level, it's very important, is how we use technology to bring teaching and learning to new heights. And in order to help teachers attain these 3 levels of attainment, we're setting up a pedagogical support unit for e-learning. So I hope that with the setting up of this unit, we will be able to bring all the good practices together. We will be able to support university teachers in using technology for learning, and we will be able to make full use of the opportunities for learning. So I wish as I said, I wish I could stay for the rest of the symposium. There's a lot of wisdom to be learned, a lot of good practices, and I hope you will enjoy the conference. Thank you.